In a world of remakes and remasters,
Are we playing for
what was once sacred and cool has now soured and become lame.
Red?
Gone are the days of Pops and Cowabunga. Now is the reign of slurp juice and dabs. Kids these days don't even know how bad they've got it. Now it's up to the best generation to rise to the occasion and make a show that dares to go where a lot of other nerdy shows have already gone quite a bit. That's right. They're going to talk about it a lot.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. This is Best Gen, where nerds complain about nerdy things. It's called Best Gen because we're all kind of old now, and we're roughly the same age, and that means that we're from the same generation. That's the generation that we think is the best one. So it's called Best Gen. And we liked our gen because it's better than yours. Because we have movies that are good, and you have movies that are bad.
Nailed that intro.
Yep.
I've been trying to mix it up a bit. Did you like that one better?
Fantastic.
It was good. Spice it up a little bit.
So spicy, you're coughing on it, you know.
David's not old. He's just more seasoned. Thanks, Mark Clark. We've got wonderful people in the chat. Mark Clark, a channel member. If you want to become a channel member too, it's just 99 cents because I want your money, but not more than 99 cents of it, unless you want to pay for my Patreon, which no one's done yet because it's totally. I don't expect anyone to. That's a weird feeling. 99 cents, you get access to memes and a wonderful community, and then Mark Clark won't have to be so alone.
Lonely. He is so
and
lonely.
Occasionally you get early access to videos that I have sitting in the tank because frequently I get copyright strikes and claims, and I share those videos with my channel members while we're waiting for those things to be resolved. So you get some perks. You get some cool perks. So become a channel member today. We got I saw Nerdporial in the chat, and he's a fantastic boy. We had some fun yesterday. If you can't tell from the thumbnail, we wanted to watch Lady Ballers. So I signed up for the Mug Club so that we could all watch it, and it wasn't on the platform.
Yep. Wrong platform.
So then David signed up for the Daily Wire, and we all watched that. Well, Bearded didn't watch it.
Yeah, I didn't.
He's been busy. We're going to talk about that.
That's what you were saying. So yeah, when you texted me, I thought you were saying you were watching Lady Balefire for some reason, and I think that's what actually came through on the text.
No.
What are we watching Lady Balefire do? Is she just streaming on Discord or something? Everything is making a lot more sense now. I got you.
This whole show, we're literally just going to criticize one of Lady Balefire's videos.
One Lady Balefire video. I was a little confused. I meant to respond to you and be like, what? But I never got around to it. Now everything makes sense. Everything is clicking. I get it.
So we watched her 5-hour Silmarillion book club video, and we're gonna critique it because Lady Balefire is just full of wrong ideas. She's a great friend of the channel. She watched the movie with us too. Oh shoot! I should probably check. I invited them. They're probably busy, but I should probably check Discord to see if they wanted to jump on. I realized they don't have my phone number.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think I think.
Well,
good.
While you're doing that, I thought we can get into the movie Later Ballers. Give our thoughts on that. But I'm really excited for some of the things coming down the pike from the Daily Wire and their new child-friendly platform Bent Key Productions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I checked it out.
Really cool stuff.
It's lacking for content currently. It needs more. But
definitely. I was actually surprised with how much they launched with, though.
They do have a good chunk. Yeah. It needs more for sure.
It definitely does need more. But they have their Bluey knockoff called Chipchilla or something.
Yeah.
Well, especially with you having dropped Disney Plus, you need something to put those kids on.
Gotta entertain them kiddos, and we asked Santa Claus for some old school Disney DVDs.
Nice.
Yeah, I used to buy DVDs on Black Friday. I'd go out and buy the cheap Disney DVDs for $5 or whatever. And now I'm like, okay, I don't need to do that because I got Disney Plus.
Right? Isn't it funny Isn't it funny? So streaming was the answer, right? Streaming was a godsend. It's like, well, I don't have to go out there and build my collection from scratch. I can just do a subscription and I have access to the entirety of the collections. Mm-hmm. And then they just decided that they weren't going to be good anymore.
Hey, and you're like, okay, really good
I guess we're going back to physical media because you guys all suck.
Yeah.
Most of the really good stuff is most of, not all of it. They're obviously missing some of the good stuff. They've got a lot of the good classic stuff on there, but the new stuff is not up to.
Don't get David started. He's going to complain about Now You See Me.
Yeah, Now You See Me. Yep, that's the one. But
which I asked Santa for that too, by the way.
Dude, that movie legitimately that movie rocks.
It's so good. But
like you don't need to watch any of the other movies in the series. Like maybe check out number 1 because it's okay, but the second one is like the greatest movie ever made, and then the third one, like, don't ever watch. It's horrible.
Yeah. Which one's first and which one's third? Because I know
the computer wore tennis shoes. Computer wore tennis shoes. Now You See Me, Now You Don't, and then the World's Strongest Man. Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah. All of them are pretty much the same type of thing. Like something happens to Kurt Russell and he gets special powers.
He gets a power.
It's usually some science fair project gone wrong. Right. But they're so fun. And Kurt Russell's so young in there. Like, holy cow. Like, I found an old Disney Kurt Russell collection that has 4 movies. It has the trilogy and it has some other one I've never heard of for like $7.
Nice.
So I'm like, fine, I'll do that.
Next time we come hang out, and or when you guys come out to hang out with us, I think we need to be. I think we know what we're watching.
Definitely. That's one of Bearded's wife's favorite.
Dude, like the practical effects though, in Now You See Me, Now You Don't, are incredible. So like the premise of the movie, he invents like a liquid. He has a science experiment go wrong, and he invents like a spray that turns you invisible. And like they experiment like with cinematography. Like they have an invisible car. They spray their car invisible, and they're driving around town like wreaking havoc and doing all kinds of really, really awesome practical effects.
Yeah,
because their CGI just didn't exist back then.
Right.
Mark Clark finally watched the Mission Impossible movie. You were supposed to watch Top Gun Maverick first. and I know that you haven't watched it because you're bringing up this one instead.
See, and Mark, you can watch Top Gun Maverick because you don't have to watch the first one first. That's your jam.
Exactly. This is right up your alley, Mark.
Yeah, first of all, watching it out of order, and it actually doesn't end up mattering. Oh man, Maverick was so good because it was like that's also how you would do a reboot, like or even a redo it, like as if it was a brand new thing. But it's also just connected enough to the other one. It was just so good because it's the same movie, but better.
I hate to use the phrase modernizing an IP, but that's how you modernize an IP.
It was so well done.
Like it does. Like the old movie has a lot of flaws, and this movie and Top Gun Maverick fixes all of them. Mission Impossible, the Dead
While
Reckoning,
still building from and continuing it. You know, I don't know.
They haven't even started production on part 2, right? It's still like I don't know.
I think they have.
Well, no. They started it, but then they got shut down. I don't know if they've resumed it.
Probably from all the strikes and all that. I don't know if they've resumed back up because they got everything back just in time for hey, it's the holidays, so we're going to shut down soon. So
right. I really like Dead Reckoning. And
what was it? I think Venom got picked back up. They started doing stuff too. But yeah, Venom 3. They got.
They already filmed that, but I don't know. I don't care.
I think they were most of the way through it, but they had to finish it up. But
I haven't watched a single one of those dumb movies that the Sony Sony Rogues verse or
the first Venom was actually
different names of it.
Surprisingly good. I did not think they could pull it off without Spider-Man, and still it's a little bit weird. It would have been tons better with Spider-Man in it. At least showing up in the end or something. But I
think they got the concept of a Spider-Man-less Spider-Man verse without Spider-Man pretty good. They're doing it well as you can with it being Spider-Man-less.
Yep, and I think they're plan, I guess has anybody seen the Madam Web trailers? I think their plan is to try and
have I
people in there, but I don't know about that
last week. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still interested enough in that one that I'm like, okay, and I'm down to give them a try with this because I'm like, hey, you know what? I actually think it's a good thing for them to try to do a Spider-Man-less Spider-Man verse or have a separate universe besides just the MCU that they're doing their Spider-Man movies in.
That would be better. Yes.
But I actually think that the concept of doing a Spider-Man-less verse with Venom and all these other ones that they have could work if they wanted to. So I want to support them doing it until it gets really, really bad. For me, I'm like, okay, these are what I expect them to be bad. Like Morbius. Morbius was not good, but it,
I
still haven't seen that one. So, yeah.
But yeah, this Madam Web one looks very CW. Like,
I
don't know.
But I also don't hate that. So I'm just like, okay, if that's what it is, I'll take it for what it is and I'll enjoy what it is,
Just make Spider-Man 4.
Yeah.
Make a Tobey Maguire movie. I'd watch it.
I seriously
I'd even watch Amazing Spider-Man 3 at this point.
Yeah. I think they could do either one of those easily. Continue either of those forward into their Spider-Man universe and just go with it. I hear some of the other.
I think what they're doing is ridiculous. I think it's silly. I don't see like any logical justification for it. But
I see enough of like, hey, you don't want to necessarily have two separate Spider-Man universes running on screen at the same time.
No, with Batman all the time. Who cares?
I don't.
I'm not going to complain about more Spider-Man.
So I think
I don't care. I want it. I want Spider-Man.
I do realize why it makes sense to be why they might be worried about it, why they think they don't want to do it.
Exactly.
But I agree that they totally could do it with no problem.
I want an old man Logan Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Let's get our youth pastor Spider-Man from Tobey Maguire. And
yeah.
I that's my point.
It'd be great, right? So it's the same thing. He's trying to juggle his job and Spider-Man. So he's fighting a bad guy, but he has to save a kid's soul on the way.
Yeah. There you go. Save his life and save his soul. Oh, hey, this one's already got his soul saved, so I'll let him die. But then I gotta. No, but I get that. I see the thought process behind it, where I think they might be worried about it. But I do think so. I'm like, I'm not holding it against them, and I don't think it's the worst idea to try to do it without them. But I think they totally could, even if they do something where they're like, you know what, hey, let's move forward with Miles in this one and Peter Parker. Sure. Okay, cool. Whatever. Just do it.
Yep.
I think you're fine. I also think they can do two Peters. That'd be fine.
It looks quite bad. The thing is, Marvel is so garbage right now. Now's when you want to make your move. Just do your own thing. But no one cares.
But also, if they're making moves like Morbius and Madam Web, well, maybe do you want to making them move? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, but it's fine.
Yeah. So we'll see.
They did good with the first 5 Spider-Man movies on their own, So
well, they did pretty good with the first 2, and then fourth one,
No.
and the other ones were like, eh.
I like Spider-Man 3. Shut up.
They're still better than what we're getting now.
Spider-Man 3 is great.
For me, again, I enjoy Spider-Man 3 just fine.
Spider-Man 3 has zero flaws.
I actually don't dislike the Amazing Spider-Man 2 as much as I actually kind of dislike the Amazing Spider-Man 1 a little bit more, weirdly.
Yeah.
I don't hate it enough to like I wouldn't watch it or anything like that, but their dynamic was not, it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
It was a little too creepy stalkery.
2 has the really, really weird his parents' mystery. Like with an underground laboratory built into the subway system, and you're like, what the hell is this?
It's a little funky. Yeah,
what is this?
Funky. But I don't know.
But
I seriously think they could easily pick up either one of them and continue them into their Sony universe of Spider-Man characters or whatever.
I will die on this hill. No Way Home is not a good movie, but it is worth watching.
Yeah, it's a fun film.
It is a horrible movie, but it's fun to watch just for the Spider-Mans interacting. Like, those scenes are wonderful. The plot is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I've seen some.
But Mark, you should watch the other two because the was it Homecoming and
I like No Way Home.
They were really good.
Or Far From Home. I think
the second one they did Mysterio perfect. It was so well done.
And the bit with Vulture was pretty cool too.
The Vulture was amazing too. I really liked how they did it, and the reveal at the end.
Because the reveal will probably have been spoiled for you. It may not have that level of impact, but that was a cool reveal. I liked that reveal.
Really well done, and just the subtleness of acting on both of their faces.
Yeah,
and that scene, just so good.
It is hard because MJ sucks in all three of them. She's the worst. She's not Mary Jane. Like, she's a good character.
Sure.
She is not Mary Jane at all.
Okay, she's not supposed to be the same Mary Jane.
She's MJ.
Yeah, but MJ. She's not.
I don't totally disagree with you. But you've also got Ned, who's not really how Ned is in the comics. He's more of a Genki, but he's not Genki either. So it's like they're borrowing things from different ways. So it's like, I'm all right with liberal.
It's different. I enjoyed them very well. The interactions were fantastic. The villains were done very well. My main issue with it is that it's attached to the MCU, and it just feels like there's this big thing. And Spider-Man is always supposed to be, a loner. He's supposed to be.
Well, yes, and I mean he does get involved with it in the comics. He joins the Fantastic Four and the Avengers at some point. But it just sucks that he get enough
his
time
solo
with
movies.
Solo ventures,
His solo movies, he's the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was my biggest counter. That we had Iron Man there, and he just constantly living in his shadow, and it was fun. I like it, and I hope they're gonna go back to that in the reboot because he doesn't have all the Tony Stark tech anymore, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now he can finally be friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but we'll see.
I do agree with it's cool. I want to see him doing his own thing, being on his own a lot more, but it doesn't bother me as much that he was involved with like that because it makes sense in the universe that they've got him in, and I enjoy the connections and all that enough, and I'm still enjoying having fun with the MCU stuff enough that I'm like, okay, cool, I'm good with it. Doesn't mean that I wouldn't love to see a great just standalone Spider-Man just being his own thing, doing his own thing. I'd love it. Oh, it'd be great.
Indeed.
Well, I've had a busy weekend. I've been installing a bunch of sound panels because apparently my sound sucks. So I've got.
I think I can even now see the little quarter-inch.
Yeah. No, don't.
I can see it there.
I didn't notice this until I showed it to you. I was like, wait, oh no. Because I couldn't see. There's a little gap there. There's a little gap because I cannot see it from where I'm at.
All out and do it again.
It's 3D, and then I panned over to show you, and I was like, "Oh shoot! Oh no!"
That's the smallest little crack. That's probably not going to make a problem.
But I'm going to know it's there.
The gray paint looks a lot better than the green walls too.
Yeah,
you never utilized that either.
I did. I used it. So, I mean, like I've got. Ooh. Look at that. See, I did such a good job. I need more, though. I need to take it back. I need to take it back.
Okay, see now I need to show off. You're showing off your setup. I'm going to show off mine.
No, sorry. So I spent all weekend.
Did he drop off, or did you hide him?
I removed him.
I thought because he fumbled something. I thought he got himself disconnected.
No.
Mark Clark says Scarlett Johansson is MJ. I mean, she's a better MJ than MJ, sure.
I mean, she certainly looks the part. Ooh, yeah.
No, I was putting in these panels. I was repainting because the green is hideous. I did use it for couple videos. It didn't help that much. I can still put up.
You can do the chroma key stuff pretty well with the solid gray like that. You could do that just fine, I think.
I can still put up the green screen too if I want, and I'll just have to scoot back when I film. Do it from here.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I'm excited for. I'm hoping another 2-3 months or no more than that, and I'll be able to get my own setup a little bit better rather than staring at my bed here. And nice. that by the way, Mark, because I know you're going to ask, that's going to be when I'm going to start trying to do some of my own Nerdvana entertainment. I should probably be doing some more of the prep work of putting together my intro stuff and putting together some graphics and all that. But yeah, anyway. That's what the plan is. Once I get in my new space, which is coming along, which was the other thing I was going to say to David is next time that we get together, we're going to have to talk with our wives about it. But I think we should be getting you guys coming out here because that would be awesome. Nice. We'll be able to have you.
Yeah, I do need to go to California for a couple of things actually. But yeah,
if you want to come out here, let me know. I'll try to distract Hannah and get her to go somewhere, and then you can come over and check it out.
I'm friends with Hannah. I like her.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
She probably doesn't like me very much.
I was going to say we just have to be very careful about the topics we talk about.
I know I almost offended her that one time. As I said, I think she's a lovely woman though, and I enjoy talking to people who vehemently disagree with me. So. I mean, why do you think you're on the show?
It's a good point. I like how we brought in Jared, but we haven't seen him or heard from him yet.
Yeah. I was going to introduce him, and he doesn't even show his face.
Hey, there he is.
Nope, too late. Sorry.
Wow. Sorry, I'm in the middle of eating dinner, so I didn't want to have you guys show me eating dinner the whole time.
Dude, I'm exhausted though, because apart from this, which I stayed up all last night doing, I've been spending 2 days making braised short ribs.
Nice.
So I braised them and glazed them, and then it was a lot of work.
Nice. We just smoked some chicken today too. That was fun.
It was the most involved cook I've ever done because it was so long. And I made a pie on top of it, so I'm tired. And let's do some news. Let's hit up some news. Yeah. I refuse to watch Doctor Who, but there's another Doctor Who's episode.
Yeah.
I didn't share any of my screen. Did you guys? Anyone? David, did you watch? You weren't here last week, and I wanted to talk to you about Doctor Who because I assumed, being the completionist you are, that you watched the travesty that was the 60th special.
I don't have. Where is it streaming?
I don't know.
I don't have anywhere to stream it. The same thing with.
Well, I was going to say it's on Disney. I think isn't it on Disney Plus?
Oh, is it?
Did
Disney Plus pick it up?
I don't know if that's where they're airing the new stuff, but the back catalog is sitting there.
Yeah,
it's on Disney Plus. Yeah,
see, that was the thing.
On there.
But previously, it used to be on I think Amazon, but then they took it off, and you could only watch it the day of if you subscribed to BritBox through Amazon Prime or something, and then it was available a year or maybe 2 years later for free or something. So Martina and I finally got around to watching Jodie Whittaker's seasons or whatever. She has 2 good episodes. She has as many episodes as David Tennant. That's how long she was the Doctor.
Yeah, she had 3 seasons. Yeah,
and she has 2 good episodes that I would call decent episodes that are worth watching. There's several other ones that are like, ooh, that's an interesting concept, and then they just completely flub it, or it's just terrible acting. All through, the script is awful. It was so bad.
Yeah. I have long talks with David's wife. So she'll call me in tears.
But no, so I haven't seen the
David beats me with these TV shows.
I haven't seen the Christmas special where she regenerates back into David Tennant, and I haven't seen this new one too.
Well, there's two new ones.
It looks like special 2. There's special 1 and special 2 are on Disney Plus, I think.
Okay, David, you have to watch the clips that I showcased last week for the 60th special because they'll make you vomit. But this episode, there aren't as many clips because it's just weird. But there are some things to complain about. Isaac Newton, David, the famous historical figure, did all that stuff with apples, right?
Yeah. Invented gravity. It did not exist before him.
Right. So what do you know? Like his nationality, maybe
is he African American?
No. No. He's Asian.
Oh, lovely.
/ Indian. Yeah.
I think I'm hearing Martina laughing in the background there.
I heard the laugh.
If she's watching or not.
This is an idiot complaining about it. Like, oh, you're going to complain about realism, but Charles Dickens didn't ghosts and wasps and centaurs. And then someone asked him, so would you be okay if Muhammad Ali was black or was white? Oh, no, would you get upset if Muhammad Ali was white? Yes, I would get upset because that's a vastly different thing on thousands of invisible but distinct social political reasons. It's the same. It's not different. Yeah. It's racist. You are a racist. And Russell T. Davies is a racist.
Also, all of those examples you brought up are other historical people that didn't do something fictional that's in the Doctor Who thing. They didn't change the race of Charles Dickens or Agatha Christie or William Shakespeare or anything, right?
Great episodes, by the way. I love the Agatha Christie episode. It's like the worst CGI out of any Doctor Who episode ever. It is horrible, but I love that episode so much. It's a giant wasp. It's so dumb.
Van Gogh was one of the best ones.
So, also Doctor Who's gay.
Yeah.
David Tennant's gay. I did. Here, I gotta share because there's this guy. You need audio, right? Okay. Share screen. Share the. Share. In case you didn't know.
You guys start talking about Doctor Who. I bust out the popcorn.
Shoot, why did that? It's a lot shorter this week. Why is it sharing 2 screens at once?
I'm not seeing anything. There we go.
Yeah, I know. Because it wasn't working.
Okay.
Yep. You can hear audio?
Yep.
What's it?
All right. So they met Isaac Newton, and then they talked like this is what they say.
Was it me, or was Isaac Newton hot?
He was, wasn't he? He was so hot. Oh. Is that who I am now?
Well, it was never that far from the surface, mate. I always thought. Was it me?
Doctor Who's gay, everybody! Oh, yeah. Timescales, you showed up just in time.
Never mind.
Be complaining about Doctor Who. Greetings from San Francisco. I know you're a Doctor Who boy.
Yeah, never mind the fact that he flirted with all of his female companions, and his kind of clone thing broke off and married Rose in the alternate universe or whatever. Yeah. Forget all that. He's been gay the whole time. What possible reason would Donna Noble have to think that he was gay this whole time? That's so ridiculous.
I don't know, dude. You need to see the last episode was way worse. She there's literally a scene because they resolve the whole thing. If she remembers the Doctor, that she'll die. Right. And the reason why she ended up that way is because the Doctor is an idiot and he didn't know how to save her by just letting her release the power. So they start a scene and they say it's her and her transgender son who thinks he's a girl, and they both are, for some reason, have the TARDIS energy, and they say, "You're an idiot. We know everything, and you know nothing, and we know how to fix the problem that you couldn't fix. However many seasons ago." And it's because it's something that a male presenting Time Lord would never understand. All you have to do is let the power go, and then they glow and let the power go.
Oh, it's that easy, huh?
Mm-hmm. And that was just one of the scenes we talked about. Yeah.
Yes.
No, he is he has a sexual agenda. That's how. And that episode, which was constantly had a whole bunch of trans stuff in it. That was his kids episode. He said, "This is the episode I'm making for kids."
Lovely.
And then the next 2 episodes are more for adults. Yes, he's a sex offender. He's historically the first person to film. I don't know how to say it tactly without getting completely demonetized on YouTube. First person to film gay sex with that's illegal. Because
Gotcha.
one of the persons is too young.
Lovely.
We'll put it that way. That's one of his TV shows, not Doctor Who. Yeah, Russell T Davies is a sicko. Anyway, that is Doctor Who. In case you're wondering, Doctor Who sucks
Sad.
now. I will never watch it ever again.
That tears my heart.
Yeah, I know. I was a huge Doctor Who fan. And I feel bad for the Doctor Who fans who were even more fans than me. Because
you even introduced David to it.
I did.
No.
Oh, shut up. I did introduce it.
I just had to poke that bear.
Yep.
More news. David Zaslav says it took courage to cancel all those completed movies. And we know. Dude, it took so much courage. You got so much backlash. And good on you, brother.
Yeah.
Cheers to you.
You are a national hero.
Pour one out for the homies, David. It wouldn't be Best Gen if I didn't talk about the Wheel of Time.
Oh yeah.
But Amazon, the books are set for an immersive adaptation from the same producers. Amazon is going to make an.
I think they changed that headline.
Yeah, it used to be Faithful.
No, they changed that headline from when I sent it to you.
Yeah, they did. I know.
Huh.
It used to say like Amazon. It's going to be a faithful adaptation, and
something like that. Yeah.
Because all the comments are saying, "Oh, right. So it'll be faithful this time." Like,
yeah. Yeah. So apparently they're making some sort of adaptation.
It's a VR thing.
It sounded like it was a VR experience. I don't know if it was a game or if it was like some show in VR or some world that you could go and explore in VR or something.
It's probably not full VR. It's probably AR, like the augmented reality kind of thing.
Well, I don't know how they would do that, but yeah, Wheel of Time is great. I do not have faith in it if it's attached to the same producers of the TV show we're getting.
Yep, screw them. They're bad people.
Yeah.
You sent me this. Did you send me this one? I think you sent me this one as well. Oh no, you didn't.
Nope.
So Scott Pilgrim takes off. The producers of the show are completely satisfied that they're not going to get a season 2, which is a lie. They obviously wanted a season 2 because of how they ended it, but they're just going to save face and pretend that this was the goal the whole time. So
yeah.
Did we? Because I never had a chance to check that out. How terrible was
I'm not going to watch it.
Mexa gave us a pretty good rundown of the first 3 episodes or something.
They kill Scott Pilgrim in the first episode.
Yep.
So screw them. Not watching. Taika Waititi, he seems to have realized that he put himself in some hot water because he's singing a different tune this week. Taika Waititi wants his Star Wars movie to recapture the joy of the original trilogy.
Is that so?
It's a hot take.
Yeah, he wants to recapture the joy, which is vastly different from what he said last week, which was, I'm going to make a Star Wars movie that's going to piss fans off.
Yep.
So maybe a studio's gonna reel him in a little bit, and he might make an okay movie because Thor Ragnarok I like Thor Ragnarok. It definitely has problems that are more obvious in the second one. But,
Love and Thunder.
When he's reined in, he can make a good movie.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. He's made a lot of good stuff, and then a lot of very mediocre stuff, and a lot of stuff that is really gross and raunchy that I do not like. Speaking of which, we talked about several shows ago, the What We Do in the Shadows. How I think they just did the 4th season or something.
I haven't watched. I think I'm still in the middle of season 3 or something. Yeah. I haven't watched it in a long
I've only
time.
seen the movie.
I don't remember how many seasons, if they have 4 or 5 now, but the previous season was absolute garbage. It was the worst season. I liked one episode in the entire season. Half of that episode was really freaking hilarious. The rest of it was not funny. It was just so not funny, full of woke crap. The jokes were just terrible. It was just absolutely awful. So my wife and I, several months ago, were like, oh, there's another season. Should we give it a try? We watched the first episode, and it was pretty good. I liked it. We watched the whole season, and it was back on par with seasons 1 and 2. It was really funny. There was one episode that talked about a gay pride parade, but he makes fun of both sides, and it was actually really well done. But the rest of it was really, really well done. I really liked it.
Yeah, I liked season 1. I might still be in season 2. I don't even remember. Yeah, but I liked season 1. I like the movie better, but the show's pretty good. The movie's hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the movie's got Jermaine Clements too. Jermaine is just awesome.
And here's
the movie is quite hilarious. We're werewolves, not swearwolves.
It's the best. That is the best line in the movie. Yep. It's fantastic. One more bit of news is Netflix has actually addressed in an interview the possibility of extending the Snyderverse. They actually it's all just been rumors until now. I mean, he actually said he gives a hard maybe. He says yes. We would like to do that. We don't know if it's possible.
Yeah. Nice. I would be really surprised if WB would release that enough for him to be like, you do your own separate thing.
Well, we said the same thing about releasing the Snyder cut of the Justice League, right?
But again, apparently, my impression is that they probably aren't too happy about how that went because they released it and then everyone was like, give us more. And we're like,
well, the problem is they released it and everyone said, wait, this is way better than what you've been doing. No. Why aren't you doing this better? So,
right.
But I don't know. David Zaslav, I don't know. He's been doing some really good things. He's also been making some really bad choices. And I'm like, I don't know. We'll see. But
we'll see. Yeah.
I have more hope for the DC than the DCU than the MCU. So I don't have any hope for the MCU. The MCU is dead. So that's it. We've got some bad takes. I pulled up a bunch of articles on Lady Ballers that I haven't read. I just thought it would be fun to read what the Access Media is saying about Lady Ballers.
Yeah. Did you watch that, Jared?
You did?
Nice. Okay. Do we want to get into it then?
It's basically all we have to talk about today.
That's fair.
So let's do it, and then I guess we can end with. There's a couple bad takes. There's one from CBR, and a couple about Disney, and one from Joe Biden. So,
all right.
What do we want to do?
A little bit longer. I haven't seen Lady Ballers. Probably won't. But
okay, are you dying for bad takes? Then should we do those first?
I'm fine either way.
We go straight from news to bad takes.
Go straight from news to bad takes.
All right, let's go.
I'm excited for Rebel Moon. I think the I need to double check. If Masters of the Air is out yet, because I'm excited for that one too. That's the sequel to Band of Brothers.
Oh, okay.
I watched Band of Brothers.
I did see something about
super
that.
good. Yeah. I'm still making my way through the Japanese one though. The
Pacific
Rim. No, it's not Pacific Rim. It's
I don't know.
Something of the Pacific.
It's just the Pacific, right? Because it's Band of Brothers, which does the Germany campaign, the Pacific, which does the Japanese campaign. It's the Pacific campaign. It's not just Japan. They only get to Japan at the very end. And then Masters of the Air is the third series that's supposed to come out very soon. I'm excited for that one.
I've always heard great things. I just never have gotten around to watching them.
Seriously, Band of Brothers. It's like 20 years old now, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
20
I remember
years
hearing about
at least. I think 21, 22 maybe. It holds up. There's only one scene because most of it's practical. And it looks fantastic. There's only one scene in like the second episode where the CGI is like, okay, that looks pretty bad, and it's when they're dropping in. So it follows Easy Company and the paratroopers. So you don't get to see D-Day from the beach. You see it from the air, and they drop in, and
that's cool.
Chaos. Like I didn't know it was that bad. Like obviously, I've seen Saving Private Ryan, and I've played
Call of Duty
like 2. No, like the old Call of Duties before Call of Duty sucked. Where they have an awesome D-Day level.
Yeah, the one of it's the opening level. You open.
Or was it Medal of Honor?
Oh,
Medal of Honor.
You're right. It was Medal of Honor.
I was like, there was another one. It
was Medal of Duty. That's a great game. But that opening level, like,
pretty good.
Everyone knows that D-Day was just awful. Like you dropped in, and immediately, like half of your squad was just mowed down. Right. It was just as bad in the air. Like they were just spraying the sky full of lead, and planes were getting ripped in half, and half of the people made it down to the ground. It's a fantastic series.
It was pretty good.
The Pacific is a lot harder to watch because it is more miserable. But I'm like halfway. I'm taking that one slowly. I binged the first one because it was so good, and this one's like, okay, I need to take this one slow. Okay, bad takes. No, you can say something.
I was gonna say another series that just popped out of nowhere. I had no idea was getting made was Fallout, and that trailer just dropped for that. That doesn't look half bad.
I don't know. There's a woman in it, so
we'll see. True.
I don't like women.
It looked very Fallout-y.
Yeah, it looks. I didn't hate the humor in it.
Yeah.
Because there is a little bit of humor in the games. It's like dark, ironic humor, like haha, or we're all dead, but it's a little bit funny. You know, this is horrible.
Yep.
And the humor felt appropriate. Like it wasn't like the MCU just throwing in jokes where they don't belong. Yeah. You're like, okay, why is every single character identical now? We're all the snarky guy who pops off jokes while we're fighting. Like,
yeah.
Every single Marvel character is the exact same now, and they used to be different and interesting.
Yeah.
But the humor felt really good.
I agree. I didn't see
red
flags.
Yeah, it's just a shame. I'm not going to watch it because there's a woman. So I can't. I'm not allowed to. I can't relate with the main character if they're not exactly like me.
That's what they say. Yep.
So here's some bad takes.
Screen rants. Bad takes.
Captain Marvel is overpowered, and that's good for the MCU.
Yep. See the thing. She's basically Superman without the kryptonite. You know, right, Superman is a god, right? He's practically immortal, but he has a weakness.
It's good for the MCU. It's so good for the MCU that she had to be completely written out of Endgame because the people who made Infinity War didn't know that she was going to be introduced between movies and that she was going to be the most broken thing in the end. And so they're like, okay, she's just not there. And then she shows up at the very end and to help out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and so more like what David was talking about, like more than the comparison of her not having a kryptonite. Like the other thing with Superman that makes him really interesting is his like humanity and his like human connections. And she explicitly has not had that. Like they almost play with that a little bit in the Marvels, and that's probably the most interesting stuff that they have in that movie.
Right.
And overpowered. How
her kryptonite is being nice.
How is that good for the MCU? Like,
well, even then, look, the subtitle, the Marvels makes it very clear how overpowered Captain Marvel is as a superhero. And it's a good thing for the MCU and future team up movies because they want her to be the new Iron Man. They want her to be the leader of the Avengers.
Yeah. Iron Man and Captain America weren't overpowered.
But did we watch the same movie? She in the same movie, she's flying through ships and then struggles against just a regular human.
Yeah, I just don't get where their logic is that being overpowered is good.
It's
for
not
anybody, regardless of who you are. I don't see where their thought
process
goes.
There is no logic in propaganda, and that's what this is.
Yeah,
this is paid propaganda to get people to believe that the MCU is still good. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It is not authentic, and there is no logic. Anyway, here's another bad take. Bob Iger. I don't know if you guys saw the interview or the Elon Musk interview.
I saw that one, yeah.
Well, so Bob Iger gave an interview in the same room.
Yeah.
And then Elon Musk did his interview and called out Bob Iger and told him to go F himself for trying to blackmail him.
I didn't know that happened.
He called him by name. He says, Bob Iger is trying to blackmail me. Go F yourself. Yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Okay. But Bob Iger in the interview said that the Marvels suffered from lack of supervision on set.
I believe that.
Which is, I don't know, Bob Iger's job?
Yep.
It's been Kevin Feige's job, and he just can't do it now.
Well, even if it's not his job directly, I understand he's got a lot of stuff on his plate. It's his job to oversee that people are there. He's supposed to delegate that and make sure that that's all organized, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
Whose fault is that, Bob Iger? Screw you.
Yeah, it's like Rafe Judkins saying, "Oh, the characters didn't have enough time practicing the sword to do these awesome sword fights that we wanted.
So give them more time." Anyway,
he was tired of all those articles that were coming out every month of, "It's not coming out this month. It's not coming out this month."
That really put the pressure on Rafe Judkins.
Yeah, that's what those were coming from. Is they were trying to put pressure on him.
Yeah, it all makes sense now.
Apparently, they also just dropped a trailer for House of the Dragon, but I didn't see it had an air date. I don't think it had an air date. I think they're still waiting for like the official announcement of Rings of Power so that they can screw them over again.
That would be so
just
good.
Like keep it up, man. Keep it up. It was the most tasty thing from last year, and if they do it again, man, oh my gosh. Oh please. So here's a really bad take. The Atlantic says inflation is your fault.
How so?
Because you keep buying things.
Yes, why am I buying gas?
Even though they're expensive. Hey, what, Jared, you are responsible for inflation. Why do you keep buying groceries? If they're so expensive, don't buy groceries.
That's the easy answer. How could I have not seen it? Like, what? Wow.
I don't need gas in my vehicle.
I was gonna say, lots of people when they talked about gas getting like above $3 or $4, they're like, no one's gonna buy gas. Yeah, we will. We need to buy gas so we can drive.
I say this all the time now, but I remember when gas went over $2 for the first time back in like early 2000s or whenever.
I do too. I remember my dad was pissed My dad, like, he broke something. It was like he was furious.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then now, can you imagine if somebody put gas up for $2.99? There would be riots to get that gas.
Yeah.
No. If someone put $2.99 for gas right now,
Jared, 4 years ago, when Trump was president, I was paying $1.87 for gas.
Yeah, well, I'm in California, so screw you. Come on.
Yep. It's $1 more expensive in California.
I remember when gas.
At least.
I remember in my lifetime, I saw gas go over $1, and I also saw it go under.
I've seen it go under $1. Yep.
And then way back up.
Yep.
Yep.
But Biden gets on Twitter every day and says Bidenomics is working. It's not. You are a liar and a horrible person. But that and we do have a bad take from Joe Biden, but it's not about Bidenomics. Well, it kind of is. Let me be clear to any corporation that hasn't brought their prices back down, even as inflation has come up. It's time to stop price gouging. Give American consumers a break. So it's not our fault. It's the store's fault.
Yep.
This is
them pay
so disingenuous.
so
this is a lie. I didn't get. Did Elon burn Stephen King too? I hope so. I would love to see that. Send me a link or something, which you probably can't do in the
chat.
It'll probably get blocked. So just tell me where to find it. If it's in the same interview? I haven't watched the whole interview, and I need to watch the whole thing because I'm going to. It's on Twitter. Okay. This is just the biggest lie. It's the deflection. It's not our fault. It's not the government's fault. It's your fault. Or if you don't believe that lie, it's the store's fault for not lowering their prices.
No.
They're price gouging on purpose. Everybody, just lower your prices. That's how inflation works.
Yep.
Shut up. These people know nothing. Well, they probably do. They know about economics and they're just lying about it.
Right.
Because they know that a lot of people don't.
If it was that easy, it would just take one store to lower their prices, lower than all the other ones, and everyone would go to that store and the other ones wouldn't get any business. It's not that simple.
This is literally
the prices are set by the demand.
This is literally the same logic that I had when I was 8 years old, and it's stupid. It's dumb logic. Okay, yeah. I always thought red lights make no sense. It takes when you go from a red light to a green light, it takes so long for every car to go because you have to wait for the car in front of you to start going before you can go. They should have like a countdown timer on the red light. And then as soon as it hits 0, everyone presses on the gas at the same time and you can go through the light. I'm like, just fix it.
In theory,
it doesn't work like that. You can't just say, everybody lower your prices at the same time. Guess what's going to happen? A car accident and people will die.
Yep.
Yeah, and especially again when some of their costs have gone up. I mean, there is still something to a lot of the corporation CEOs and all that are making. They always have to keep making more and more money off of things, but there's still a lot of there's a lot of other costs that are popping in there. You can't just lower your prices.
Yep.
Willy-nilly. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about Lady Ballers, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Jared. Love having you on. You should watch the movie too. It's pretty funny.
I'll keep an eye out for it. We'll see. We'll see where we go with it. Yep. I mean, it's an interesting one where I saw the ads for it and I'm like, all right, definitely going to try to see if I can make sure that Hannah doesn't see this trailer.
Yeah, that's definitely one that she will not appreciate, I think.
Yeah. We'll see. All right. Well, yeah, I think I will actually dip out even. Yeah, I could hang out.
It's gonna be a short show. It's gonna be a short show, anyways. We don't have a lot to talk about. Okay.
It's always fun hanging out with you guys and chatting. Always.
I love talking to you.
Some nerding going on. So.
Yep.
All right. You guys have a good one and enjoy talking about them. Bye.
Take care.
Yeah.
All right, now that Jared's gone, man. Okay. Now that Jared, yeah, I really liked Lady Ballers. It is by no means perfect. It has flaws. It's a little bit cringy at points, like, but not that could have benefited from maybe a couple more takes or better actors.
There's really only one actress that bothered me, but
yeah, she didn't. You guys thought that she was cringy. I didn't. I thought what she was doing, what they had her do, was a little bit cringy.
sure, like, it was supposed to be awkward.
The
Yeah,
reporter. I thought some of the things they had her do was cringy. I didn't think her acting was cringy.
I just thought some of the lines, like, especially in the beginning of the film when she's making the initial pitch to the coach guy, I don't know. She just didn't deliver her lines.
Before we get into specifics,
Okay,
it's not a perfect movie. It has flaws. It could definitely use from a little bit of trimming down. It's too long. It's an hour and 50 minutes, and it feels it. There's some parts where like, oh, I don't know why you need this in here. Trim it down a little bit, and some, but also including with its flaws, it's the funniest movie I've seen all year. Has there been another comedy this year that's good?
Not a film that I've seen. There's been.
When does the Pendragon Cycle come out? 24.
Yeah.
It will come out next year. I don't know when. Probably late because I think they're still filming. So.
Yeah, they're still filming, but they still haven't filmed the Snow White either, and that's supposed to come out next year as well. So I think Pendragon will probably be mid-year. But they don't have to have so long a development cycle because there's less people involved, less projects in the works. They can just crank it out or whatever. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. It had some really good laughs. I agree that some of it was a little bit over the top, and that's kind of expected, I guess, if you're going to have a political comedy show,
Yeah. Even the little bit of cringe that is in the movie, it was never like so much that it pulled me out of the movie. In fact, I think it made it a little bit more authentic because it really felt like a throwback 90s comedy movie that has a lot of cringe. A lot of those old comedies have scenes where you're like, this is not funny. Yeah. And I can't believe that we ever thought that this was funny back then. Like there are some gags that are just over the top. You're like, I don't, but it made it felt more real. Like it felt like an actual production. I liked it.
Yeah. It felt like, like those old films, like you said, like Ben Stiller and, Will Ferrell, Adam Sandler type of films that are, irreverent comedies.
Oh yeah.
But they're really hilarious. So yeah, I liked it. Like I said, I didn't like that particular
character.
Actress.
Yeah, the reporter character.
She did
not bother me. I know that a lot of people who were watching, because we watched it with a bunch of white cloaks over Discord. I know a lot of people found her a little bit cringy.
Yeah. I just don't think she delivered her lines very well. And also her whole thing, I don't know. She was weird.
She was overtly sexual and used that to her advantage a little bit too much. Like the licking people's faces was weird.
Right. See, but that was the thing.
But that's the kind of stuff that they used to do in old movies anyways. I'm like,
sure. But the thing is, she was trying to be sexy, but I think she was just creepy and weird, I don't think she ever crossed that line into, I don't know. But anyways, I did like that gag in the end where she takes out the sniper rifle.
The sniper rifle was good. There were some jokes. Yeah. I almost had to like pause them, but I'm like, I can't because we're watching it all. I'm streaming it, but I wanted to pause because I was laughing so hard. Even just in the first like 5 minutes, there was a line that was written so well. The writing is really good. The dialogue is really good.
And
most shocking, it has heart. I didn't know how they were going to end a movie like this.
Yeah.
Without just going crazy. You have to do something at the end, right? To say, hey, this is actually bad, right? Or you can just lean into it, and no one learns a lesson. But they managed to work in a lesson, and it didn't feel shoehorned in. Like, it felt natural. It progressed really naturally, and had a wonderful, wonderful message at the end with him and his daughter. That was great. I loved the ending of the movie. The first half of the movie is better than the second half. It's tighter. The second half meanders a little bit. You're like, okay, let's trim it up a little bit. But then the ending, I love the ending to this movie.
Yeah, I agree. Although I would have liked there to be some sort of repercussions. I would have liked them to be publicly found out that they weren't really didn't believe that they were really girls. They just were trying to game the system, and have that come out and have public outrage or whatever. And then you can still have the same ending. Say, okay, you're right. We're going to sub in this little girl team.
Yeah. See, I know that you wanted that. And I think that does a disservice to the movie, because then it's them repenting because they got caught and not because they know it's wrong.
No, but they could do it how the coach says, no, this is wrong. And he
outs them.
He outs himself, and then there's public outrage.
I don't know. Okay, they could have worked it in. They could have made it a little stronger. Yeah, you're right. If you do it that way, yeah.
Right. It just seems like that's the formula, right? If you have this drama thing, you have these people do these unscrupulous things, and they get caught in it, and there's a falling out, and then they have to pick up the pieces back together. And it felt like they were getting away with this whole time, and then there wasn't any repercussions. They just said, oh yeah, let's not do that.
The repercussion was someone else used the same tactic against them. Like, I felt like there was a repercussion, and it was a bunch of black guys that they had to play at the end. And it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
And then the resolution is, okay, we're going to make him play against, a bunch of little girls.
And yeah,
it was great. I loved it.
That was good, and that was heartfelt. I think that there should have been a turning point though, because they immediately just like.
No, it was great. It was like, okay, these girls are sweet. We're going to be nice, and you're like, oh, it's a wholesome ending. And then they throw in that tiny gag where they still lost the game 600-4.
That's true. Yeah,
like it was good. It was a really good gag. That one had me laughing. The one at the beginning where like the twins are talking about how their mom, they're like, they weren't sure if their mom was faithful or something. And then Jeremy Boring walks in. He's like, and he just says, no, like, your mom is super ugly. Like, it wasn't a faithfulness issue. It's like, like that was a really, really good line. The one that had me, I coughed. I was laughing so hard was was Michael Knowles, who was the reporter.
Yeah.
The line about kicking Indians out of their land was phenomenal. And I loved the progression of the two reporters of him and Brett Cooper getting more and more woke, and
that was
they had to go through sensitivity training because they said the wrong thing, and then then he finds out he's 1/1,000,000th Cherokee, and so he leans into it, and
and then she gets the Dutch braids, the dread weaves or whatever, and the shawl. Yeah, that was one of my favorite gags, and I think that was probably some of my favorite stuff in the film is the stuff that's in the background, is just progressively, like, it's not a punchline, it's just a progressive changes and stuff within the characters, and just to see that, it's just so wonderful.
What I think is funny is that we had a conversation about the Daily Wire before this trailer where you said, I hope they don't just do exactly this. And I was like, no, like, I want movies with these co-hosts in roles, because I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. My worry is because all of these
obviously don't do it for every film, right? Right. Don't do it for everyone. But I was like, I would love to see Ben Shapiro as all 7 dwarves. You know, like that's hilarious to me, right?
Yeah, that's hilarious. But
obviously, they want to be taken seriously though as well, and they want to make real movies, and they're going to have to get more talent involved. But for a project like this, I wouldn't want real actors. I think it's hilarious that they pulled from their own talent, and that every single one of their hosts had a role. I could have done without Candace Owens because I don't like her. Whatever. She only had one line. She only had one line in the movie, and it wasn't that bad.
Also, I don't understand that ending.
It's not supposed to make sense.
I don't know what that was.
It's one of those dumb things where you're like, okay. Yeah,
I agree. For a project like this, it makes sense. But I'm worried because Brett Cooper,
I agree.
I know she's an actress. She comes from an acting background, but she's in this one. She's Snow White. She's also in the Pendragon cycle. And it's like, okay, are you going to get new talent? Or are you just going to, I have more faith in those other ones because this was just something that they threw together.
They already are doing what you said. I'm really excited for their adult animation that they announced. They announced with this movie. They have
really good.
They have so much talent, and it's people that they've already been friends with. Like they have the stand-up show with it's not Andrew Clavin. He's one of the hosts. It's the Truth Yeller. It's it's some stand-up comedian. He hosts a show where they just do like stand-up bits, but every show he brings on a comedian who's been canceled. So they had TJ Miller, they have Rob Rigel, is that how you say his name?
I don't know.
And the guy who does Kronk's New Groove.
Yeah.
Or Kronk from Emperor's New Groove. David Carolla. Thank you, Mark Clark. Yeah, it's David Carolla, stand-up comedian, and he brings on brought Jay Leno. So he brings on these people who are Christian in Hollywood who like can't, be Christian in because no one's making movies for us, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the adult animation, which I assume is just going to be on Daily Wire because it's not going to be for Bent Key. It looks really good. They've got really.
Yeah, I agree. That looked really good. I'm excited for that. A good,
Rob Riggle, or Rigel. I think it's Rob Rigel.
Yeah. Going back to the Lady Ballers though, my other issue with all these cameos in this film is they spoiled almost every single one of them in the trailer.
They did, yes.
And I wish they wouldn't have done that. Like, the
trailer showed? The trailer showed too much.
Yeah,
the trailer ruined the climax of the movie. It spoils the twist at the end, which is now you got to play now you have to play against a bunch of black people.
Yeah,
black men.
Yeah, it spoiled that. You're right. It spoiled Ben Shapiro's one little line. It spoiled.
He had 2 lines. Cruz. It only spoiled one of Ben Shapiro's lines.
Okay.
It definitely spoiled the Ted Cruz cameo, which I didn't like in the trailer or the movie. The what's in the trailer is his only role in the movie, and it's dumb. Yeah, they could have come up with something funnier to put Ted Cruz.
It's not great, but even then,
it's literally just a cameo for cameo's sake. He shows up and says, "Hey, can I sit here?" And and then he leaves.
And I would have.
What was the point of that cameo other than the cameo? Like
exactly,
cameos are no funny point. If there is a point to it.
Right, and I would have enjoyed it more if it wasn't in the trailer. And you're like, "Oh, they got Ted Cruz. That's cool."
If they hadn't spoiled it in the trailer, I might have liked it in the movie.
Exactly,
but because it was in the trailer, I'm like, because it's in the trailer and it was just that line, I was like, okay, is there going to be more to that? And there wasn't. It was bad.
Yeah,
I did not like the Ted Cruz cameo.
100% agree. But the other cameos that they didn't manage to spoil, like Jordan Peterson in the end, was
my god! Well, what was so funny is that he's in the credits, and you're like,
yeah,
Ben Shapiro wasn't in this movie, and then he's in the end credit scene. You're like, oh gosh, and he doesn't even have a line. That was literally the best part of the movie. Yeah. It was great. So I saw that. I was like, wait, pause. Jordan Peterson wasn't in the movie. Why is this?
Yeah. All right, Jared, you've been quiet. Did you absolutely hate it?
It was an interesting movie.
That it was.
It definitely reminded me more of like a comedy from the 90s.
Yeah.
But I think my biggest qualm with this movie is that I feel like because it was so like on the nose about the whole transgender thing, and obviously it was like trying to say, hey, this is a bad thing, right? Because these are the sorts of scenarios that, obviously could happen because of it. But because it was so on the nose, I feel like it wasn't respectful to those people that do feel like that's, an important part of their lives. And I'm not saying that I'm like for trans people or anything like that, but I believe that we need to be more respectful of that, right? Like there are people that sadly do choose that that's the way that they've got to live their lives.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I felt like this movie, just because it was so on the nose, didn't respect those people at all and their decisions. There were funny parts and there were parts that I laughed, but at the same time, I was like,
I would feel worse about it if it weren't for the specific subject matter of the movie. Because look, I get it. I know that some people suffer from gender dysphoria. Okay. And my heart goes out. Like, I can't imagine having to deal with something like that. It sounds horrible. Okay. I have depression. It's not fun to deal with. Okay. But it is a mental illness. Both of them are, and you don't treat mental illnesses by feeding into the delusion, right? Telling these people, hey, it's okay to transition.
Yeah, and
that is like, imagine doing that for depressed people. Hey, it's okay. Go ahead, kill yourself.
Yeah, and that's what
that's not how you right. But and on top of that, right? In addition to it, I would feel a lot worse if it weren't for them pushing to be included in sports specifically. Look, if you want to do it, I think it's a horrible choice. It will not make you happier. Okay. But you have, it is your choice if you want to do something like transition. Okay. Where it is not your choice is when it affects other people. When you start pushing this on kids and when you start demanding to be included in sports, you have no sympathy from me.
Or demanding that other people treat you
because it doesn't affect just you, it affects other people. And that is where I absolutely draw the line.
And I agree. And
but I understand your point.
But but like that's the thing. Like, and I full-heartedly agree that maybe the whole situation at hand has gotten crazy, and like I understand why they'd make a movie like this to show just how crazy this situation really is. And obviously they've done it with the most comical way that they could, but at the same time, it just feels like they didn't.
It's not going to win anyone over from the other side.
Right. Yeah, and I think they could have just been a little bit more sensitive to say, hey, look, like maybe these things aren't things that you agree with, but we can at least respect people's decisions to do that. And we don't have to encourage it, but like
I kind of do feel like that is what the like that's where the heart comes in, though. Like the scenes that he has with his daughter, I felt were very tactful.
I agree. I liked those parts, and that's the thing. Like I liked. So, especially at first, I was like, what am I watching? I thought, to be honest, the first of the movie was the hardest part for me to watch because it was so tongue-in-cheek about this whole, hey, let's do this trans thing and hey, put these fake boobs on. And he's literally like smacking the boobs. I'm like, okay, like that's just weird and awkward. And I'm like,
I really like the scene though, where he says like, oh, people don't know how to respect women, and then smacks the waitress on the butt.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, there were little things like that it's a comedy, but at the same time, it was kind of hard for me to watch just because I was like, oh, it's definitely kind of cringe. But then in the end, when they did get to the heart where it's like, hey, look, like, and he had that talk with his girl, and he's like, look, we're not trying to erase you or replace you. And that I thought was emotional. Like, yes, that's essentially kind of what this is doing, right? Is it's replacing the courage that these women have had to stand out on their own to begin with. And to try to have their own league so that they can achieve greatness, right? Like, I think that was a very, very good way of going about that. But at the same time, it's like, they essentially though they're like, you're a boy or you're a girl. That's it. Like you can't do anything else. Like I can't tell you anything else. Like that's the truth. And yes, I understand that is true.
Mhm.
But the way that he's like, nope, there's nothing else. Like he was so like I guess his character in particular, near the end at least, I felt like his character was so closed to any other ideas about how things could be in the world that I felt a little off put because I was like, look, yes, we are men and we are women. There's two general body types. You're a man or you're a woman. Yes, I totally agree with that. But like these are complicated times, and you can't just say, "Hey, I don't accept any other options."
Yeah.
Like you have to be open. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Is like I felt like his mindset was just so closed that it was like, "Hey, I don't respect you. I don't care about these other people. This is the way it is, and that's it."
Yeah.
But it wasn't a horrible show. I did enjoy the comedy at some parts. There were some cringe parts, and I did enjoy the takeaway. I did enjoy the ending. I like how they did that.
The ending's so good.
Yeah, it was good because I didn't expect. I mean, I didn't see the trailer, so I didn't expect this other team to come out.
Did the Ted Cruz cameo work for you then?
Oh no, absolutely not. I was like, "What the crap?" Like, why,
I didn't think it would be better. It was like,
yeah, no. Plus, he's in a suit and he's like, "Oh yeah, let's go sit down by all these fans." Like, yeah, Ted Cruz is gonna do that. Yeah, right. Like,
if you're gonna bring him in, like, give him a good line or
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I was like, there were a couple of those where I was like, okay, that was a dumb kind of cameo, but all right, like.
Yeah, and again, you brought up that point where they're putting on the fake boobs or whatever, and he's totally fondling them. There's no consequences for him doing that in public. I was completely expecting them to like have someone in the stands like, "Hey, have you ever heard of consent? What do you?" And she's like, "Oh, you're right. I mean, these aren't real boobs, but I'm doing this in public, And they just, I don't know.
Yeah, so it just like for me, I felt like maybe it was too tongue in cheek at some points where I was like, okay, this is clearly a statement.
On that same note, I think the biggest flaw of the movie is while it is funny, it's also hard to laugh at because of how real it is, right? Yeah. Because this is happening in life. Like you've had women who have gotten like concussions and like paralyzed. There've been women that have been paralyzed by biological men, and so and that's where I lose the sympathy, right? Like I'm like, I want to be sympathetic, and I am totally understanding to anyone suffering. My heart goes out to you, right? I genuinely hope that you are happy with your life, and I hope you find happiness. And I promise you, it's not through transitioning, but you completely lose my sympathy when you're okay with doing this to real women. Like and it's not a uncommon story. Like there have been huge injuries, there have been women paralyzed, and the swimmer, what's her name?
Riley Gaines,
who's in the movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't she?
Like there have been women who they've literally lost scholarships, tuition, prize money, and huge opportunity and sponsorships to men, which is the entire reason why we created Title IX in the first place. Because guess what? Men are different from women. Men are genuinely better at sports. Okay, and women are much better at a lot of things. Okay, I could not survive without my wife. Yeah. I genuinely couldn't. She her strengths are my weaknesses. We complement each other very well. And there are so many things where I am so grateful that I don't have to worry about because she's so good at. And that's okay. That's okay. We're supposed to be different. It is by design. Okay. And that's where the movie suffers, because while it's funny, it's also hard to laugh at when this is actually happening in real life, right? And when there are people that that there are some people who suffer from gender dysphoria who are genuine about it, right?
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that most of them are not, and so you lose my sympathy when you're not when you're pushing this on kids, right? And when you're doing this, and so I want to feel bad about it, but at the same time, like these people who do this deserve to be mocked. And now that's not everyone in the category.
Well, yeah, and it's hard to and I think what this movie's getting at. Well, I don't know if that's actually what.
But sometimes when I want to be laughing, I just get sad. But
the thing that about this sort of these circumstances is that, I mean, we don't know their intentions, right? Like it could just be that they want to compete, or it could just be that hey, they just want to win.
But the intention doesn't matter though. That does not matter. Like you don't get to take steroids and compete.
I agree. Okay?
But I think the difference. Okay, if you know the science behind it, the difference between the advantage. Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The advantage between like a biological man competing against a woman, even if he's been on hormone blockers and estrogen for years, the biological advantage is astronomical and so much better, so much greater than the advantage between two men and one of them is on steroids. It's not even close.
Yeah, well, but I think though about this though, and with this whole conversation, I think that's important is that it brings up the question about is the system that we have working, right? Like because we've separated into men and women, because when there is someone that doesn't really identify with one of those two, which is becoming more and more,
it has to be separated. If it's not separated, it's just men.
I get that, but I just think that this discussion about okay, well, how can we improve the system is important, right?
Right.
So it's like yes, I totally agree that it needs to be separate, but maybe we say okay, well, maybe the way that we're regulating this and that we're trying to separate these isn't quite the way that it needs to be done, and I just think that as this question has been brought up, it's important that we look at it. Right. And say, okay, well, what could we fix or what could we change? Like, I think that's always a good question.
Until it is fixed, you don't get to break the rules and then complain.
Right.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
I agree with that. The other problem with that though, Jared,
like it's literally the meme of the kid on the bike, sticking a stick into his spokes and then tripping and then, oh, well, who did this to me? You're like, you did. You don't get to have your cake and eat it too. You created the problem. You don't get to complain about it.
Yeah. So the other issue with that is I agree. If they want to still compete or whatever, they're going to have their own separate category, right? A third category or whatever.
That's kind of what,
But the problem with that is
there aren't enough.
Where do you draw the line, right? They've had so many, like 5 years ago, it was just, men and women or whatever. And now there's now there's, in between genders. And now there's so many other different categories. Where does it stop? Like, how many transgender categories are you going to have within sports?
It doesn't, because they're completely made up. It's not real.
Yeah. But I will say
there's an infinite number of categories.
I will say though that just this sort of thinking though has helped a lot of organizations already. Like for example, the whole disabled community, right? Like things that of just having it look at okay, is it enough just to have a men and a women's has opened up the question, okay, well, maybe we need to do more for the disabled community and help them have more.
This is also the problem.
Stuff,
right? There have been people who've tried to create trans leagues, and the trans people don't want to do it because they are selfish and conceited.
Yeah, and that's definitely a problem, right? And that's and this definitely goes into a lot more deeper issues, and that I don't want to get into because that's the thing. I was discussing this with my wife afterwards, and I was like, I think there's some underlying concerns and issues and stuff, but I don't think I want to bring those sorts of discussion points on this particular.
This is the least nerdy nerd show episode that we're gonna have.
I know, but yeah. So anyway, I just think that honestly, there's some issues with it. And with this particular movie, I had some issues with, You know, it felt very close-minded, but it was funny at parts. It was cringy at parts, and I saw something though about how it got like a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, I don't know if I would agree with a 90%.
Well, it's all user reviews, yeah. No, that's the thing though. That's the thing. People who complain about review bombing, look, conservatives have jobs. We don't have time to go online and review bomb. If there was ever a movie that would have been review bombed, it's this one, and it did. There are tons of people who just gave it 0 stars. Oh, it's cringe conservative. We don't want to watch it. But the majority, it was outweighed by the sheer number of people who liked the movie. That rating is genuine. Like you cannot tell me that there are more conservatives who review bomb than there are liberals who spend their entire lives online. Like, are you actually saying that, Jared?
No.
Okay. We don't have time to review bomb.
I definitely don't review bomb.
And this movie is living proof that review bombing is not a thing.
That being said, though, you still have to subscribe to Daily Wire to see this show. So
I don't know though. I didn't actually all I did was type it into my smart TV and I was able to watch it.
Really?
Yeah. Like I didn't even log in with any information. Or anything.
Huh.
Yeah, review bombing. Yeah. That was review bombed to heck.
Yeah,
by leftists, and it's still so many people liked it. There's always going to be people that are uber passionate. Review bombing doesn't affect anything.
Yep.
When you're making a choice like this, it's not a personal choice. It affects other people, and it's destroyed lives. And as sympathetic as I want to be, it's really hard to find sympathy, and especially from my personal experience. Like, I was literally just fired for issues like this. That I wasn't aggressive. I was understanding. I literally trained this woman at improv, and she got me fired.
Yeah.
Because I asked one question. I asked, "Hey, how do you feel this okay, for the context, I just got fired. I got fired a couple months ago from my improv group that I've been at like 7 years. Okay. And I've trained half of the people there. A lot of the new people, I was the one who introduced them to shows. We had 2 different categories for a long time of the main stage show, which was Saturday nights, and then a Friday show for newer people. And I was constantly training the new people. I was performing 4 times a week during COVID.
Wow.
Training all these new people. And this woman specifically, I won't say her name, we were friends with, she has a daughter who is now identifying as a man. Okay. But before that happened, I, not solely responsible for it, but I know that I had a huge role in training her to be a good improviser, because I talked to a lot of people who never wanted to perform with her because she wasn't perfect, and she would make common mistakes, and it frustrated a lot of people. They didn't want to perform with her at all. But because I'm a good person, I saw past those flaws, and I helped her become better at improv, and we were really close. We had inside jokes, and I knew that she had kids that were struggling with stuff. We both are of the same religion too. She's a Mormon. So I thought we had a lot of common ground. And then recently her daughter transitioned, and I posed the same question, and I played dumb too. I tried to say hey, I'm genuinely curious about this. I believe, everyone has the right to do whatever they want to do with their own body, but where it's interesting to me is in the category of sports, because it's not a personal choice anymore. It affects other people. So how do you feel about that? People doing this. And because I asked that question, and even super direct, I genuinely wanted to know what she thought about it. She stopped talking to me. told everyone I was a bigot and a transphobe, and then everyone else stopped talking to me, and I got fired. So
sucks.
I was sympathetic. I was very sympathetic. And I was friends with someone who no one wanted to be friends with. And they don't understand that they're the bigots. They are the ones who are closed-minded, not us.
Yeah.
So I have every right to mock these people and enjoy this kind of comedy. And even then, it's still hard for me because I still feel bad. But it is so hard to find sympathy for these people because they don't care about you. This was someone I was genuinely friends with. But because I disagree on one thing, she cut off all ties and got me fired. Yep. You don't get sympathy from me. And even then, I've forgiven her. I still love her. And I still feel really, really bad for her daughter. As much as I want to hate her. And I have every right to hate her. I don't. She's probably not watching the show. I'm not going to say her name, but I love you. And I genuinely hope that we can be friends in the future. I doubt she ever wants to talk to me again. But if we are afraid to call this what it is, which is absolute stupidity. I don't know, I'm just done. I'm done beating around the bush, you know? Yeah, it's wrong. And it's everyone knows it's wrong too. But we're so afraid of getting canceled, of getting fired, of exactly what happened to me.
Yeah.
We cannot be ashamed to stand up for what is right. And the Bible straight up warns us in these last days, hey, there's going to be a lot of people who take what's good and they're going to tell you that it's evil. And they're going to take what's evil and they're going to tell you that it's good.
Yep.
And they are liars. They are wrong. And I don't blame this person. I don't think she's evil. I think she's deceived by the devil.
Yep.
I don't blame the people who vote for leftist principles because on paper it sounds really good. I understand the desire to want to be nice, right? And leftist principles, communism on paper sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But it's not. It is of Satan. It is demonic. And it's because of agency. That is the difference between God's plan and Satan's plan. This is a really nerdy show, guys. We normally are really nerdy.
Got real heavy.
Okay.
Hey, you made us watch this, and this is a heavy topic.
I just...
Yeah.
God loves us, and the only path to true happiness is through him. And we cannot be ashamed to stand up for truth. And I know what you're saying is good too. Like, this movie is not going to change. Well, maybe it will. Maybe it will. Maybe there are some people that need the tough love because everyone is different.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine this movie is going to persuade a lot of people from the other side.
Right.
Yeah. I can't imagine.
And I realize, like, you don't want to you don't want to take the black pill and say, oh, it's hopeless. Let's just, never try and reach out.
Right.
Never try and convince anyone. But man, it's hard. It's really hard. And where that line is drawn is we cannot be so concerned with being nice that we deny what is true. And
I agree. Yeah.
Amen, brother.
So sorry for getting really heavy there. But it like I'm crying. It was the worst thing that has ever happened to me. I lost friends. I lost most of my friends. And I wouldn't have done anything differently because I cannot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought the movie was hilarious, and I think it's something that needs to be said, because it will start conversations. It will start conversations between normal people, and those conversations need to be more tactful, like you said, Jared. The conversations that we have with real people need to be more tactful.
Yeah.
Than this movie.
It's too bad we got all the bad takes out of the way. We need something to lighten the mood now.
I'm going to go watch Sophie's Choice now.
Clark.
Sorry, and it's really personal to me, and because I just, how could it not be, but it's still funny. I really liked the movie. Could have used a better editor, trim it down, maybe be a little bit more tactful, but it's not true. I mean, it's not untrue. It's, what am I saying? I think it needed to be made. I think it needed to be said.
Yeah.
So, because Mark Clark, $4.99 because I don't suck. It's spelled it's Alan with an E. It's like the last name, which I think is way cooler. But everyone spells it wrong. There was one random stranger. It wasn't like because I don't drink coffee. I don't get my name in a coffee shop. I can't remember who it was, but someone spelled my name right unprompted, literally like last month, and I was like, that's never happened before.
Yeah, people spell my name wrong all the time.
David?
That's shocking.
Yeah. And most of them, it's just a single L, like ALAN. That's the most common one I get. I did get ALEN once, and I was like, that's not a real name. It's either ALAN or LLAN or LLEN.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, it was a fun time.
It was a fun time.
All right, guys. I had to say it.
Good.
It was their biggest launch. Made Daily Wire history. It got them record subscribers, and good for them.
Hey.
I don't know if they've released actual numbers, but 97% Rotten Tomatoes. It's good. It's pretty good. Here's an article. This movie will make you rethink everything you ever learned about women with balls. This is obviously like a conservative slant.
Yeah.
Like, this is funny. The Decider is not very conservative, right? Stream it or skip it. Lady Ballers on Daily Wire Plus, in which far right guys try to dunk on trans athletes. I think they succeeded in the dunking. Like, that's it. Like, you can't, when they're trying to come after the movie, they can't come after the principles. They just have to say, "Oh, it just wasn't very funny," right? Or, "Oh, it wasn't,"
or it's just
the quality wasn't good, the acting wasn't
conservative
good.
propaganda.
Because the ideas, you can't dispute them. It's just, I did like the line, winners are just losers who win.
Yeah.
Oh, the one that the best joke in the movie though is because he's having this relationship with the reporter who's using him for power, right? And for a story. And you think the whole time that they're having sex, and then it's revealed at the end that she's been leading him on the whole time, right? And the guy's like, "Wait, you got tied to a radiator and burned and didn't get laid?" That was so funny.
That was ridiculous.
That was the best joke of the whole thing. Washington Post. Lady Balls, activists not laughing at gender bending comedy about transgender athletes. Well, I didn't think that the activists would be laughing about it, right? It's not made for them. Of course they're not. But a lot of people are really mad about it. And it still gets positive reviews despite of all the backlash. So those are the articles. We don't have to get into them. We've got into it. So you don't need it. Did you just? Was that? Okay, no, that's just trolling.
I was gonna say you got to show it though.
Thank you for the $1.99, but screw you.
You forgot the Y. There's a silent Y at the end. ALOYN.
Such a troll. So the last episode of Invincible we talked about last week, but I kept it up on the thumbnail because I know some people hadn't seen it. Did you catch it? You haven't caught up? No, I don't think so. I guess we're not talking about it. Did you watch it though? Jared and I talked about it already.
It's good. It's good so far. Yeah, I haven't finished the first half of the season, but I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, it's a tasty snack.
Yeah, the opener was really weird. I was like, what the heck is this? And I thought it was an interesting choice. Obviously, I haven't read the comics, but I thought it was an interesting choice to go with the multiverse like right off the bat. So,
which they've pretty much abandoned for the next 3 episodes.
Yeah. Yep. I'm assuming it'll come back in the second half.
I thought it kind of built like, oh, he's going to be the main threat of this season, and now it's like, oh no, it's going to be the Viltrumites, and I don't know what, but it's a really, it's
good stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely keeping us on our toes.
And I agree. So far, Amber is a completely different character.
She's like enjoyable now, right?
Yeah.
It's a complete 180.
Yep.
Like she stops him from. There's a point where he's apologizing, and she stops him. Like, no, never apologize for saving people. But that's what you would. But that's what you were doing in season 1.
Yeah. No, exactly. I think you're absolutely right. They heard that criticism and they fixed it real quick.
Yeah. It bothers me that they thought that they could get away with it in season 1.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that they aren't so prideful as to double down on it.
Yeah.
Which is a good sign. Even though it's on Amazon. And screw that.
Yep.
So that's pretty much it. I don't think we have anything else to talk about. Rebel Moon doesn't come out for another 2 weeks. And then it's okay, so we have next week and the 27th. We need to decide which week we're doing the Year of Sanderson. We're going to do that on the 10th or the 17th. I haven't heard back from Jordan. No, maybe I'll send him another email to remind him to see which week. I asked him which week he could do it. He wants to do it. So
that's the Sanderson Institute guy.
That's our friend from the Sandersonian Institute of Cosmere Studies. I think I said it right.
Nailed it. Nice.
So I was thinking today, this should be one of our coming up ones in the next month in December. What we should do is we should all have to watch like a certain number of Hallmark videos for Lifetime, and then come back and talk about which one was our favorite one. And
no!
Well, we're not going to do a show on the 24th or the 31st because my wife would kill me because that's New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve.
Yep.
But I believe Rebel Moon comes out on the 22nd. No. On the 15th? Did they move it up? Hold up. They moved it up.
What?
We could talk about Rebel Moon on the 17th. It comes out on the 15th. It was the 22nd. They moved it up a week.
Really? Why would they move it up so close to release?
I don't know. Well, that means we have to do Sanderson next week then.
Okay. Next week, Sanderson. Week after that, Rebel Moon. And then
Hallmark.
off till the next year.
It's saying the 15th everywhere now. Yeah, that is a new date. Because I have it in my calendar. Now I got to go change it. Okay, so Rebel Moon in 2 weeks. Year of Sanderson next week. I'm caught up. I read Secret History. I haven't read that one yet.
Ooh.
I'm reading the...
That was fun, right?
The Arcanum Unbounded.
Yeah.
So...
I haven't read any of those. The last one I started reading was the Wizard's Guide or whatever.
That's a good one.
That was fun.
Secret History made me cry.
I think they just keep going. Keep getting better. Sorry.
Yep. I think they're progressively better.
Out of all of them, never mind. I'll save it for next week.
You can say which one's your favorite. I've already said.
I was going to say, going into it, I thought Yumi and the Nightmare Painter would be my favorite. And it was still, as a concept, I think it's probably one of my favorite.
It's hard to beat Sunlit Man, though. It's so good.
But the Sunlit Man was so good.
Mark, Mark, does that mean you're done with Lightbringer? Oh, no, you're halfway through Lightbringer.
Halfway through Lightbringer. Nice.
Okay. No. So I was looking on a different screen and the ending was covered up. I thought that meant, I thought you were saying Stormlight 4. I didn't see the 5. Halfway through, Lightbringer 5 is good. Although 4 is the best one. So, yeah, no, I'm moving it up. It used to be the 22nd. So, cool. Year of Sanderson next week. I'll let Jordan know, and hopefully he can make it, because that's the only... I guess we could... I don't know. We can try and do something like during the weeks of Christmas.
That might be hard.
Like a Friday or Saturday would be it would be the 22nd or 23rd. And 29th or 30th, even then, like, it's tough. I want to be. We could try a Friday or Saturday thing, or I might just do like a special stream during the week.
Yeah,
I know. Corwin wants to rant about video games with me on another show. Because we both bought a game that we wanted, because we used to play League of Legends together. That was our thing to like make sure.
I was going to say,
friends.
It just hit me that those couple times when you had a friend jump on, that it was Corwin that was playing with this.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I was like, oh shoot, yeah, okay, it was Corwin.
Now you know who that is. Now you know who belongs to the voice.
Yeah.
Now
nice.
Your top songs of Now LGBT. Oh. I'm so upset about that video, guys. It has the greatest click-through rate and engagement out of any video on my channel, and it has 100 views.
Oh, man.
Because YouTube's just like, nope. I worked on that video for a month.
Yeah.
So maybe, but it is like evergreen. You know, it is something that could get picked up by the algorithm later. I don't know. I just
you got a whole month of Christmas.
Man, I put so much work into that. Are you saying which ones are my favorite? So let's see.
My personal favorite is we're beginning to loot a lot for Christmas.
I think that's most people's favorite. So the line that you can't hear as it's fading in is with Karishnikovs and Molotovs aglow, we're beginning to loot a lot for Christmas. Because I'm talking over that line. I know that most BLM protesters didn't have AK-47s, but they did have Molotovs, and Karishnikov rhymes with Molotov. So I made a realistic concession for lyrical genius. That one I think is the fan favorite. My personal favorite, which is also lyrics. I always prefer like clever lyrics over catchy stuff. I think my best one is Santa's baby abortion clinic.
Yeah.
Lyrically, I did such a good job because it rhymes. Because I think the best parody not only just rhymes with itself, but also rhymes with the original song. And that one just
100%
perfect. Like it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
Another one
when I deliver the line Santa frankly, like it's like Santa frankly doesn't care if you've been naughty or nice. It's like you can hear the original song in your head.
Yeah, 100%. Another one that it worked really well in that way was the Feliz Navidad Latinx.
Okay, that one is my second favorite because it's one line and it's the best joke I've ever made because it has two punchlines.
Yep.
It's two punchlines in one line. It's taking Christ out of Christmas and putting the X in Latin. It's perfection. Like, you can't make a better joke than that. You can't. What other joke do you know that has two punchlines in the same line? It's one punchline that's two punchlines. Has anyone in history ever been as clever as me? Anyone?
Clearly never.
Give me one joke that's actually two jokes, and I will never make a comedy video again. Okay? That's how confident I am that that's the best joke I've ever written. Show me.
Well done.
Whip out your jokes. Come on.
Wait, did you say jokes or jugs? I did.
Oh yeah, jokes. That's a better idea. It's the best joke I've ever written. It's so good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So yeah, give us. Put it in the comments after this video is over, or shout out right now. What if there's something specific you'd want to see during the last 2 weeks of December? Because this show is just not going to work. My wife would literally kill me. I would love to say, "Oh, I want to stream for you guys," but I do want to stream, but also like I wouldn't get guests and I wouldn't have the good grace. Ghostbusters 5. I'm not going to watch that. I still haven't watched the new Ghostbusters that most people liked. Okay.
Afterlife, yeah.
Aftermath, Ghostbusters Aftermath. After Glow. Is that what it is? Ghostbusters Afterglow? That'd be a good movie. That's pretty much Ghost, right?
Yeah, pretty much. That sums it up. All right.
What's the song? It's the. I always forget the song. It's because I always think like the Titanic song when I do it. I always think near far. That's the Titanic song, right?
Something like that.
No,
what is the song?
It's the Something Brothers. So it's not the Soul Brothers. It's the
Unchained Melody. Righteous Brothers.
Righteous Brothers. It's the Righteous Brothers. Unchained Melody. Yeah. That is by far the sexiest scene in all of cinema. Okay. The Righteous Brothers. See, I know things. Okay. But yeah, and I'll probably still do a part 2, even though no one watched part 1. So, man, the engagement is crazy on that video. It's just so disappointing. YouTube's dumb, but it's a choice that I made. So, yeah, we'll try and think of something to do during the week. Oh, right, sorry, that was all because of League of Legends. I used to play League of Legends with Corwin a lot, and I don't play anymore. I haven't played in 2 years, and I feel so healthy, by the way. But we tried to find another game that we could play together, and we downloaded Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Oh yeah, the Borderlands.
Yeah,
right?
It's the Borderlands spinoff because we played Borderlands 2 together a lot, and we really liked the DLC, which was the Tiny Tina's.
Whatever.
DLC RPG thing, which
Yeah.
it was D&D like inside the universe, and it was a lot of fun. We downloaded Tiny Tina's Wonderland, played for 2 hours, and we're like, this is garbage, and we both got it refunded.
Nice.
It is. It's disgusting. The core gameplay was pretty fun. Like we started off fine, and then after you exit the tutorial, right? And it's all gay. It's just like insanely gay. The first that you go on a quest, and it's the goal of the quest is to get 2 lesbians to bang. And I'm like,
what?
This is Borderlands now?
Good Omens season 2?
No. Exactly. It was the plot of Good Omens season 2. I was like, what?
Huh.
So got it refunded.
Lovely.
So we're gonna rant about that maybe, but we should do a Hallmark thing. Well, right? you guys let me know like when you're available to do streams during the week, and I'll do it. I don't have a life or a job, okay?
I have been roped into watching way too many Hallmark movies than I'd like to admit. And
if you guys have free time to do something those weeks, then let me know and I'll do something with you.
I just think it's like the perfect thing to be doing right now.
Okay.
Everybody's watching Hallmark.
Man.
We'll see who can find the worst Hallmark movie.
Right? I'm like, yeah. It's
no.
like,
Dude, no. If you want a bad one, I was forced to watch one of the worst movies I've ever seen last year. No, was it 2 years ago? Was it last year? It was last year. We all went down to New Mexico, right? No, you guys weren't there.
No.
It was Tina who was there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they made me watch this stupid Hallmark movie. Oh my god, I was so pissed. I was like, guys, this is not going to be good. It was like music and lyrics, but Christmas. So the entire movie is based around writing a song. Okay, and the song is crap. Okay, music and lyrics works because it's a good song.
Yeah.
Okay, it's about writing a song, and the song's good. When your movie is about writing music and the music's bad,
unless it's done ironically, like
it's the worst movie I've ever seen. Oh, Godzilla. Godzilla is our reading. I don't know what that means. I assume you're talking about Godzilla -1, and I've heard nothing but good things, and I want to see it. So,
yeah. Although I saw the first Godzilla movie in this new franchise, and there's 3 more.
What I need to do,
Kong one.
I'll probably just buckle down and just release a lot of videos in December instead of doing this live stream, because I know haven't been doing as much because I've been doing more, right? Like the production quality on this. I literally worked on this now that's what I call Woke Christmas for an entire month. And I'm doing some collaborations. I wrote a bunch of sketches. We haven't filmed them yet. We're trying to figure out when.
Yeah.
So I think I just need to buckle down and get out like all of my book reviews. It'll be book review December, because I need to do dedicated videos for each of those, and it's going to be like every book that I've read this year. Because I've done videos on 4 of them, and I was supposed to do a video on each one. I'll do that. I'll just focus. I'll just buckle down, and I'll just produce a whole bunch of content in December.
Nice.
That's what I'm committing to instead of live streams.
Forward to it.
So, except for the ones that we did like dedicated streams to. Like I'll probably do like 1 video for Lightbringer. Right. But that's not going to be a priority because I've already got.
Wait till Mark Clark's finished with it, then he can read review in a timely fashion.
There's a Kickstarter. It's got like 2 days left for a special edition of Gunmetal Gods.
Oh.
I don't need it, and I probably would never even read it because I just do audiobooks now. It is the most beautiful. It is so beautiful. It looks so good, and I want it, even though I don't want it.
Yep.
highly recommend Gunmetal Gods. I think it's the best thing I've read all year. I should do like a top 10. I should do a top 5, which I did 2 years ago, and I didn't do last year because I didn't read enough books.
Yep.
But I've read 40 books this year.
I definitely want to read Gunmetal Gods because I really enjoy the Cthulhu mythos. In fact, that's what I'm painting today. I started painting. I got Cthulhu. He's got a nice Zenithal Prime ready to go. And I started painting these nasty fire vampires.
Oh yeah. I also know. I also fully know that I promised the Dragonsteel video this Monday and didn't do it, but it's because I realized, I need to finish Now That's What I Call Christmas because it's going to get copyright claims, and I wanted to release it December 1st, and I almost didn't because it was still in claims, and I literally shared it with I did a post sharing it with all the channel members, and then like 2 hours later it got released. I was like, I get to release it December 1st.
Nice.
So channel members got a special like 2-hour preview of that video.
Yep.
Okay. All right. We'll see you guys next week when we talk about Brando McSando. Nobody puts the baby in the corner. Okay. That was probably more relevant like 20 minutes ago when you said it. Yeah.
Okay, I might not be able to make that one.
No.
Then. I haven't read a lot of Sanderson this year.
No. Fine. Go watch if you're gonna be watching a lot of Hallmark movies, I can't commit to like watching a bunch of them. But if you find one that's just like this is the worst thing I've ever seen, I'll watch it. Don't send me the best one. Send me the worst one.
Okay, all right, the worst one. Okay.
Oh man.
All right.
All right.
Because Stephanie will watch the heck out of that, and it'll be a nice date night.
Yeah, my wife will watch that too.
And then she'll keep hitting me because I'll be making jokes the whole time.
Yep. Yeah. That's how it goes.
But I like it. I'm submissive, so.
Right.
She's a dom.
He just quit.
Bye.
Bye.
And now it is time to say goodbye.
We had a great conversation.
It's been fun. But all good things must come to an end, and the goodest ending I can think of is...
Right now, this moment, this night.
So I guess we just say goodbye.
So, goodbye.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day. But come back next week for more outrageous bloopers.
This is the end.
Well, there's only one thing left to do.
I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.